Oh, we've got a lot to talk about today. The Philadelphia Eagles destroyed the overrated ass Kansas City Chiefs to become Super Bowl 59 champions. I'm ecstatic, as you could tell, because this is basically the game that basically proved of what the Chiefs look like when they don't get help from the refs. Like, it's honestly insane. I had a different video planned for today, but I just had to make this its own video because we got to take a day and talk about the Super Bowl because, like I said before, there's a lot to talk about. So let's not waste any more time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. With all that out of the way, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing we've got going on here is the score, basically. So if you didn't know, or if you didn't watch this Super Bowl, which a lot of people didn't, the Eagles shocked the world and beat the Chiefs 40-22. I mean, the score might not seem as much as a blowout as before. That's just because the Chiefs had a couple garbage time touchdowns, but overall the Eagles kicked their ass. It wasn't even close. And like I said in the intro, this is basically what we saw, what the Chiefs looked like without the refs helping them in every single turn. Like, it's honestly crazy how much a game can change when the Chiefs don't get bailed out every single second. Like, their offensive line was absolutely terrible. Patrick Mahomes played one of his worst games of his career. Like, no other receiver could make an impact other than Xavier Worthy during garbage time. Like, it's honestly kind of crazy to see. And you might be asking me, when you see this picture of these Chiefs players basically moping on the sideline, do I feel bad for them one bit? Fuck no! I love seeing this, dude! With how cocky they were being this whole season, and with how basically douchey Travis Kelce's been this season, I love seeing this. This is great. Like, I don't feel an inch of sadness for the Chiefs. Like, I don't feel bad for them at all. They completely deserve this. So now, let's basically talk about the stats of this game. So looking at the Chiefs first, Patrick Mahomes played probably his worst game by far. Like, this is probably even worse than he played against the Bucs in Super Bowl 55. Like, this was absolutely atrocious. The only reason Mahomes had 3 touchdowns and 257 passing yards was because of garbage time. Like, overall, Mahomes played like shit. He couldn't hit his receivers. He threw very, very ugly throws, including 2 ugly interceptions, one of them being by a pick 6 by Cooper DeJean. Like, there's no excuses. Like, Patrick Mahomes played some terrible football last night. Even though Mahomes played a pretty bad game, you can't fully blame it on him because the Chiefs' offensive line last night was absolutely horrible. Like, it shows proof right here. They allowed 6 sacks. Like, they were absolutely terrible. And I do give the Chiefs' offensive line props now and then. Like, I know they're a great offensive line, but it honestly changes a lot when they don't get away with a whole bunch of holding calls every single play. The refs were on to their shit almost a whole game. Like, there were a few times where they did get away with holding like usual, but most of the time they didn't get away with it. They got called almost every single time. Especially for guys like Juwan Taylor. Nothing against Juwan Taylor at all. Like, he seems like a nice guy, but like, he pisses me off so much with how much he gets away with holding, and then he tries to act like he plays some of his best game. Like, you'd be lying to yourself if you didn't say, oh wow, I hold every single play, but I always get away with it. But not last night. The refs were onto his shit, as well as the rest of the offensive line for the Chiefs. But those sacks were not the only reason why the Eagles defense played such great ball. Like, the rest of the defense played out of their minds. You have guys like Zach Bond, who played a hell of a game. He had a couple of crucial tackles, including a huge interception in the second quarter. And also guys like Cooper DeJean, who had also basically a great game from kick returner to the secondary, having an elite pick 6. And by the way, it was also his birthday, so that just makes it even better. Like, there's no other way to put it. The Eagles defense played out of their minds, and they played one of their best games they possibly could have played. Alright, now let's talk about the Eagles offense. With how much credit I gave to the Eagles defense in this video, I have to give a lot of credit to one specific Eagles offensive player. And that player is Jalen Hurts. Not that bastard on the right side next to him. I'm talking about Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts had a hell of a game, man. He made such great throws, and I still think he's kind of overrated when it comes to comparing him to other quarterbacks, like even in the regular season. But I will say one thing about Jalen Hurts is he's absolutely clutch when it comes to the Super Bowl. Both times he was in the bowl, he's been really good both times. Like, I have to give him his flowers there. He really impressed me. Like, he might have had one ugly interception, but overall, he was very safe with the ball. 17 for 22 221 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he made some great throws too. Like, he was incredible. I will say, I was hoping a little bit more from Saquon, but at the same time, like, you can't give him too much crap, because I really do think the Eagles were trying to change up their game plan. Because if you really think about it, like, the Chiefs were probably really studying, like, this man right here. Like, they were probably game planning around him and not around guys like Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert and probably A.J. Brown. And it honestly makes it even more smart that the Eagles game planned around using guys like Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown, or a little bit of Dallas Goedert, because, like, the Chiefs were expecting them to run more with Saquon, and even though the run game didn't work as they planned, just because both run defenses for both teams were extremely good, like, the Chiefs' run game was terrible as well. Like, it's honestly good for the Eagles, because this was probably their best pass game this season. Plus, the Chiefs didn't expect it. Like I said before, they were probably game planning around Saquon. They didn't expect the Eagles to throw this much, and that's why I think it was so successful. Plus, you really can't give Saquon too much shit at the same time, because Saquon had an elite season, and he's one of the main reasons why they made it to the Super Bowl. So, who cares if he didn't have a great game in the Super Bowl? Who cares if he didn't get a touchdown? He was one of the main reasons why they made it this far, and I'm honestly really happy he has a ring. Plus, I'm really hoping that Giants fans are happy for this man instead of being huge crybabies saying, "Oh, I wish he was still on the Giants. He could have taken us to a Super Bowl." Like, shut the hell up. Like, your team is ass, and you were holding Saquon back, and with him being on a good team, who cares, even if it's one of your division rivals? Like, it's honestly good for him, dude. Like, he needed to be on a new team, and it's honestly, like, you have to be happy for him. Alright, one more thing I want to talk about with the stat sheet, and it's the Chiefs receiving room. Other than Xavier Worthy, because even though most of his stats was during garbage time, he did play a good game, and he was probably the best receiver on their team this year, not counting Rashee Rice from injury. The rest of the receiving room was absolute garbage. The first guy I want to go over is DeAndre Hopkins. Like, we'll get to the other guy that we all know and hate or love. But basically, I wanted to talk about DeAndre Hopkins. Because after the Super Bowl this morning, he decided to make a stupid-ass Instagram post or Twitter post saying how, oh, the refs were against us. Oh, the theories, the rumors and theories are wrong. They were against us the whole time. Like, shit like that. Which just made me laugh because, one, I was expecting that out of the Chiefs. And two, this just makes DeAndre Hopkins look like an absolute clown. Like, dude, you had one of the worst drops you possibly could have had. It was right in your hands. Like, it was an open first down, too. Like, how do you drop that shit? It was right in your hands. Like, it might have not been, like, the most accurate pass ever, but it was right in your reach. And for somebody that should have the best hands in the NFL history, like, that is known for that. I know you're not in your prime anymore, but you're known for having some of the best hands in NFL history. You're expected to catch that shit. So if you want to hop on social media and complain, that's fine. But please just know that your team was absolute ass and your team is absolute frauds. And you did absolutely no help to them at all. And you were one of the reasons why they sucked, like, in the most part. And finally, let's get to the elephant in the room. Travis Kelce. I don't feel bad for this clown at all. He played such a horrible game. And he was such a cocky douchebag this whole season. Like, I couldn't stand the guy, and I haven't been able to the last 3 years. Just to see him mope like this the whole night last night was just basically music to my ears. Like, I hate Travis Kelce, and I am glad he lost. Speaking of Kelce, do you think Jason Kelce is having second thoughts of him retiring last season? I mean, I know he was going through unbelievable pains, and he was, like, basically getting older, but if he would have just played one more season, he could have had a ring too. Like, I love Jason Kelce, but if I were him, I would have second thoughts. I don't know. I bet he's happy where he's at right now. I'm just saying, like, if I'm Kelce, I'd be having second thoughts and might be asking myself, do I still have it in me? Now thinking about it, the Eagles already have a Pro Bowl center again. Like, he's really good as well. So for Jason Kelce to come back one more season just to try to get a ring would be kind of a dick move. So honestly, forget what I just said. Like, enjoy retirement and just enjoy yourself. Next, I wanted to talk about the halftime show. Did I think it was good? My answer is there's a few parts that I really liked, but overall, I think this one was kind of ass. If we were doing this based off of my tier list I made last week, I would say it would be in the tier of lackluster. But like I said before, I think there was a couple good things in there as well. Like him performing Not Like Us and smiling at the camera, singing that one verse was obviously great. I think SZA did a really great job in this one too. Honestly, this might not be an opinion you will agree with, but I think she should have had her own halftime show. Like, Kendrick Lamar's music is good, but I just think overall he didn't do that great and it wasn't that entertaining. I think if it was SZA, it would have been a lot better. But yeah, those couple things were really great, but overall, it wasn't that great of a halftime show. It was really boring. Some of the performances were kind of stupid. And I think if you were like willing to compare it to other halftime shows, like the one with Dr. Dre, Snoop, and all of them, like it's not even close. Like that one is way better in every single fashion. Plus, I love Samuel L. Jackson, but I really did not like his cameo at all. Like it was super random and it was kind of unnecessary. Like it did not need to be there at all. So overall, I would give this halftime show the tier of lackluster. And out of 10, I would give it a 5 out of 10. And last thing I wanted to talk about is I know the football season is over, so there's a couple things I wanted to go over. First off, I wanted to say thank you so much for joining me this season. Like, I've been having a blast doing this on YouTube. And even though I wasn't there for the full season, I was there for most of it. So I think once the season starts up for 2025, I will be there for the whole season. And I think it will be so much fun, and I think it will be better. Plus, like I said in the previous video, I'm not going to stop making football content during the offseason. I'm going to make tons of offseason videos. I'm going to try to make videos for like stuff such as MLB, NBA, and some bit of gaming in there. I'll try to have some gaming in there as well. But I'm not going to be basically neglecting football during the offseason. That's not going to happen. So, yeah, let's just hope to a better future, and let's just get excited for NFL offseason. I think it's going to get kind of interesting. But there you guys have it. Those were my basically NFL reaction for the Super Bowl, I would say. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below and what your favorite part was about the Super Bowl. And let me know if you're an Eagles fan and how you're feeling. I would love to know. Congratulations to the Eagles on a great season. That is where I'm going to be done for the day. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe. Turn on notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos whenever I post. I'm Logan Sharon. I'll see you next time.